Alright, another Adult Swim's April Fool's Day prank. Maybe it'll be goofy this time, or maybe they'll show a new sneak peek, or maybe...
Please help us! Why aren't you saying anything?
Oh, yeah, we got some stuff to talk about.
Here I go, I'm about to freak the flow. About the Cartoon Network and things they show. We got the super adventures, tune heads, and late night. It's black and white, but everything's alright. But I'll break it down a little bit more. Tell you what they have in store, what his tunes you're looking for. We got Fred Flintstone and Bonnie Rubble, my man.
Alright, so that just happened. If you somehow aren't aware of this crazy little viral short, last year on Halloween, Adult Swim released a short trailer for Learning with Pibby.
Learning with Pibby, learning is so fun. We like to spell and we love to hum.
Which starts off as a parody of something like Dora the Explorer. However, it doesn't stay that cute for long. Pibby took over the internet faster than I took over the planet the first time, and hundreds of fan arts, theories, and ideas came with it. And I mean, can you blame people? It's a cool concept. A character trying to survive against this weird force corrupting the cartoons and turning them into demons? That's top tier nightmare fuel. Of course people want more of that. Unless you hate fun. Do you hate fun? But yeah, it was cool seeing this dark new take on all these familiar worlds. But as soon as Pibby came into view, it vanished just as fast. I mean, maybe it was just a fun little short, never meant to be something more. Just a cool little concept that was never meant to be a full series, despite how much some people might want it. And after 6 months of nothing, I had basically decided to forget about it, until the clock struck 12 on April Fool's this year, and I was greeted with this.
Learning with Pibby, learning is so fun. We like to spell and we love to hum. Learning with Pibby. What's happening?
Let's just say that I was instantly awake. All throughout the night, Pibby was popping in and out of shows, bringing new creepy delight with every sighting. And as the night went on, I realized something. This wasn't just a bunch of fun, dumb jump scares. No, there was something afoot here. And you know I'm onto something because I just used the word afoot in 2022. So today, I'm gonna do my best Awestruck Vox impression, and do my best to find out what this night could mean for the future of Pibby, and what the true nature of its threat could be. I'm your host and trusted friend, D'Angelo Edwards, and today, I'm taking my hat off to what could be the concept of Pibby.
It's a learning opportunity.
Okay, so let's start with the basic timeline of the night. At first, we just see a little static and smiling friends, and a little darkness starts to creep into the cartoon. But then, at 12, the opening for Learning with Pibby starts. Going normal until the background glitches out, and Pibby and her friend Bun Bun are thrust into Rick and Morty, with them left frazzled and confused. However, they have no time to catch their breath, as the same dark glitchy force from the short starts to chase them. After that, you see them pop up a few more times, looking scared and confused, but it's nothing too major. That is, until this happens.
Rick, this isn't easy for us. You know, we all remember you as a...
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
Yeah, things just got real. The way they did this was handled so well, and the fact that no one seemed to acknowledge it was all too telling. From this point onward, we see Pibby appear again in the credits, with them glitching out as well, and Pibby thinking that maybe it's just a Halloween episode of their show. Oh, you sweet summer child, you have no idea what you're in for. After this, you see a slightly more frazzled version of Pibby and Bun Bun walking through hell and smiling friends. Until we cut the commercial, where one of the classic black screen white text bumpers is going. But just when you think it's safe,
Maybe we should let the darkness consume us. Bun Bun? What are you saying?
yep, it looks like the darkness has managed to corrupt Bun Bun, using him as a vessel. Pibby, concerned, but still not defeated, is still shown traveling with Bun Bun, despite his more, let's just say heightened state. And we see them travel through another bumper, before the Eric Andre show starts airing, and we are treated to what I consider to be the greatest shock of the night. Where during the famous Who Killed Hannibal scene, we see Eric start to glitch out, with Pibby looking on in horror, while Bun Bun grins with delight. Yep, this stuff doesn't just affect cartoons. In the original short, we see one instant of live action being affected too, but put a pin in that, we'll get to that later. After this, we see Pibby begging for help, the usual audience she's used to hearing being silent. And as the rest of the shows air, we see even weirder things happen. In Aqua Teen, things glitch and turn into mangled flesh. Entire bumpers are corrupted. Bird Girl got about as much as Bird Girl deserved. And as the night goes on, we see Pibby having more and more problems keeping up with Bun Bun, until eventually losing track of him altogether. The last time we see Pibby is in Joe Para Talks to You, as we see her cold and alone, walking in the snow. Bun Bun now nowhere to be seen. And that's where it ends. It's pretty rough, and at first glance, it might seem like a bunch of unrelated spooky moments, and I thought it was too, until I started to think a bit deeper about it. People were starting to wonder if Pibby could get greenlit for a series, and if so, when's the first episode gonna air? And guys, I think this is it. This night was the first episode, or at least a prologue to it. But hold on, I'll explain it a bit better, right after this break.
Cartoon Network. All right, boys. Cartoon Network.
1, a 2.
Here I go. Just cause it's an animation, people think it's not legit.
Okay, so what do I mean by this being the first episode? If you look at the glitches in order, it's very clearly telling a story. Pibby and Bun Bun get thrust out of their world into show after show, trying their best to get back home. Since it's one of those preschool shows a la Blue's Clues, they're used to a bit more of the fourth wall stuff than your average cartoon. But as time passes, they realize this is different. Stuff like this doesn't happen on a show like theirs, and Bun Bun, feeling trapped, decides to just give in. It's a little different than the original short, but what happened remained the same. The darkness takes Bun Bun, and at least for now, Bun Bun likes it. This is the setup for the series. Pibby trying to get Bun Bun back, all while trying to navigate this new expanded world, with the constant threat of the darkness always over her shoulder. We see them try to survive together and fail, and we see Pibby have the most important thing in her life taken from her, and we see her try to cope with it. Until eventually, she just can't anymore. Her friend is gone. He's been taken by something she can't make sense of. But I think it's something that a lot of us are familiar with. In fact, it's something you see every day on TV. I'll show it real quick.
Oh, happy Halloween!
Did you catch that? I'll play it again.
Oh, happy Halloween!
How about that time? Alright, fine then, I'll spell it out. That brief flash of darkness between every show, commercial, and bumper, that's it. That's the threat. Or at least, that's where I think the threat resides. Let me explain myself a little bit. At first, I thought that Pibby was focused on traveling through the world of animation. I mean, that's what it showed most of, but after that night, I'm not so sure. Seeing Pibby interact with commercials, bumpers, live action, I think Pibby is instead dealing with the metaphysical world of TV in general. A world where all the different shows reside. But what if those shows aren't the only thing that reside there? Picture this. TV has not been around forever. It hasn't even been 100 years since the first broadcast. So before there were all of these shows and commercials and programs to fill up the world of the TV, that world was filled with nothing but darkness. Now imagine something lived in that darkness. Something old. Something powerful. Something that has always existed there and knows nothing but darkness. Then, all of a sudden, a light. The first broadcast. The thing that was living there has now seen light for the first time, and it hates it. But this world is vast. It can just move. It can escape the light. But as time goes forward, More and more light enters the world as more and more channels and shows are created, until eventually, that presence that lived in that TV world before TV only has those brief flashes of black in between shows to live in, and it is furious. So furious that it starts to thrash and shudder and rage until eventually it breaks into the light. It breaks into the shows, and the only thing it wants to do is return the light into the darkness. It wants its world of shadow back, and the only way it knows how to do that is to consume the light. Consume the shows that have infested its world. Of course, it starts off slow. It's hard to just destroy. So instead, it corrupts. It changes and it festers. Instead of getting rid of everything in one go, it dissolves it and uses the characters of the light to further its own goal, return to the darkness. This is what is after Pibby. And while this is going on, while the walls between the shows and the darkness are being broken down, Pibby ends up in the middle of it, and now she's not quite part of any world. And this is where I think the show will start. Think of it like this. You have the light, that's the TV shows, and you have the darkness. That's where the presence lives. And then you have the fourth wall, where we are. Pibby has gotten herself trapped in between the light and the dark, being present in both worlds. She can interact with the shows, sure, but that interaction can't be perceived. And because she's not quite in there, she's still vulnerable to the darkness. And the darkness is getting stronger. And pretty soon, all the barriers will break, which I think will lead into the world shown in the Pibby short. That's why that kid was shown being able to perceive Pibby, because by that time, the corruption has gotten far worse than what was shown in the April Fool's Day broadcasts. And if the walls between the shows and the darkness can be ate away like that, what's stopping this presence from tearing away at the fourth wall as well? From breaking down the wall that separates it from us. So yeah, that's what I think Pibby is about, at least so far. There still hasn't been any news of a green light yet, but they're kind of putting a lot into this for it to just be a prank. They even filed some copyrights for it. But let me know what you guys think of this theory, or if you have a different one, post it down below. Until we get more news, there are no wrong answers. But until that news comes, I'll be waiting, because it's so much fun learning with Pibby.